And let's start off with big breaking news coming in of proof of China choosing to profiteer at a time of a pandemic. After increasing the price with increase in demand for some of the products, China is now sending substandard COVID-19 related critical equipment to India. We've accessed documents. India Today has photographic proof to show how companies have not only jacked up prices amid this pandemic, but also altered specifications and components used in making oxygen concentrators. And these products have actually been sent to India. Clearly, there's a compromise on quality as well as the life cycle of the machine. According to Indian buyers in China, they've rejected many consignments after finding that the components which were used were cheaper alternatives to what was originally used in these products. Let me take this across to Geeta Mohan, who's joining us with more details on this. Geeta, we're in a pandemic because of a virus that originated in China. China is putting this out as if it's humanitarian aid, but the reality is that not just have they beefed up the prices of these products, it's also faulty substandard quality.
Well, absolutely. Serious concerns coming from people who are trying to procure these concentrators for India. There are Indian businessmen who I'm in touch with, and they've been speaking to me constantly, not just about the concerns regarding jacking up of prices. Akshita, we have seen those invoices very clearly suggesting that the concentrators that at some point would cost about $300 now are about $500 to $600. For a 5-liter pack, and for a 10-liter pack, it could go up to $1,000 to $1,300. That's absolute surge pricing. India has launched a protest with regards to that. But a bigger concern is not about pricing, because that can be related to demand and supply. It's about substandard concentrators. We have photographs to prove that the older concentrators and the components that were used, including coils that were used in the older concentrators, are no longer available or are being put in the new concentrators, which could really mean that the life cycle of a particular concentrator is going to be much lesser in hours than the ones that were coming earlier on. Apart from that, we also do not know how efficient those concentrators are going to be, given that the components are scarce, and therefore Chinese companies have started using alternatives which are not the best, which is really not the best way to go about making oxygen concentrators. These are concerns that Indian businessmen who are trying to procure these concentrators for NGOs, organizations, governments across the world for India are raising. They're also very particularly talking about how the Chinese companies are not really revealing all the data, and how some of the companies who are trying to procure have already rejected quite a few of these items.
You know, this is a new load. Every country right now is helping each other in this time of need amid a pandemic. And then there's China, which is going ahead and selling substandard equipment, hiking up the prices, knowing the demand has gone up. And this substandard oxygen concentrators amid the COVID crisis being sent to India. Proof of that on your screens. Geeta, thank you very much for joining us on this broadcast.